Namaskar. Welcome to Off the Stage. Today we are going to talk about stardom. You must be surprised. Stardom in Indian classical dance. Of course. As a Democrat, as a person who believes firmly in democratic spirit, personally I don't believe the idea of stardom. But like real politics, stardom is also very real in Indian classical dance system. We have seen many great dancers and we have valued, we have appreciated, we have respected them as our star dancers. Particularly after independence, we had great dancers and we have given our respect. We have given them center stage in our social discourses and we have appreciated their art as our own. So, how a star is born? We know that if you evaluate Hollywood or Bollywood, it's very easy to know how a star is born and what is the stardom. That glamour, glees, success. If you give more and more hit films, you are a superstar or you are a star. But what is the parameters? What are the standards? What is the scale to reach stardom in Indian classical dance? For me, I have my own theory. To be a star, you need two, three qualities actually. One is that okay, you should have some institutional recognitions. Earlier, it was very easy. If you go into the history of star value, you will see that many of our great dancers they got institutional recognitions in a very tender, in a very young age. Sanjukta Panigrahi, our the great Odissi diva, she got Padma Shri at the age of 34. I think Yamini Krishnamurti, she got Padma Shri when she was just 28. Baijanti Mala got her Padma Shri when she was 32. Many of our classical dancers, they used to get recognition, institutional awards and rewards at a very young age. And most of them got Padma Awards, particularly Padma Shri, at 40s, 30s or 40s, they used to get Padma Shri. But after 90, you cannot imagine. I think it was Alarmel Bali, she was the last dancer who got her Padma Shri at the age of 32 or 34. I am not very sure, but between 32 to 34. After Alarmel Bali, I have not seen a dancer who got Padma Awards at a very young age. That's a big problem. So who is a star? Early, okay, institutional recognition is one. Another one is that stardom comes through foreign land. If you are performing more in foreign stages, if you are invited by foreign agencies or deputed by ICCR or Indian External Affairs Ministries, you are a star. The first superstar of Indian classical dance, Indian dance, was Uday Shankar, and his stardom came through foreign land. He was very famous in Europe, then he became famous in India. So that is another part. But nowadays that is also not possible in a global stage. And after everything has become very easy, and this new marketing global economy, global village. So that is also not a possible. That is also not a very easy parameter. You can't be so successful or you can't be a star just you are performing in Europe or America. And particularly when NRIs started performing that is also not a big deal actually. Performing in Europe or America is no more a big deal. Anybody can go and dance there. The third one, political patronage. The first Prime Minister of India, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, he was very fond of dancers. He used to invite great dancers and musicians to his house. And first President Rajendra Prasad, he was a great patron. Actually, the first two great dancers and musicians from Odisha, they got president scholarship. It was Dr. Rajendra Prasad who was here in Odisha, and a young Sunanda Patnaik, she sang for Mr. President, and a young Minati Mishra performed Odissi before President Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad sent both the artists giving scholarship. Sunanda Patnaik went to Pune to learn Hindustani music, and Minati Mishra joined RaagKedar. So that kind of patronage is also not there. The political leadership is not very interested for classical dance or music. Okay, they talk about cultural nationalism, Indian culture, mythology, Indian value. It's all for political stage. But when it comes to promotion and patronage, we have not seen a single new institutions in New India coming up to promote Indian classical dance or music. We have that old institutions, that Nehru era institutions like Sangeet Natak Academy, later IGNCA, Indira Gandhi National Center of Art. Whatever cultural institutions that we see now, it is all began in 50s or 60s. So we don't have new institutions. We don't have many numbers of cultural institutions, center of excellence. It was RaagKedar, it was Kalamandala, it was Odissi Research Center, it was Kathak Kala Kendra. After that, what? A country of 1.3 billion people is not having a dozen of cultural centers. What does it speak? We are talking about governments, we are talking about cultural inclusivism, but we don't have institutions. Whatever institutions we have, they are slowly bringing down their cultural activities. Earlier it was more and more, nowadays it is less and less. A friend of mine who was a very powerful official in ICCR, once he told me that the foreign embassies are now asking more and more for Bollywood dancers, Bollywood stars to come under ICCR programs. They don't want Indian classical dancers or musicians. It's a shock. Okay, Bollywood is, I have nothing to do with, I have no complaint against Bollywood. Bollywood is doing great on their own. Contemporary dance, they are doing great. And absolutely I have no complaint what they are doing. Rather, I enjoy what they are doing. They are promoting, they are bringing many people together. And, they are creating their own stars. If you go into the dance scenario, the contemporary Bollywood dance scenario, you can find that anybody can be a star coming from any background. But Indian classical dance is becoming more and more exclusivist. If you have money, if you have connection, if you have proper channel, then only you can be a dancer. Do we have any kind of mechanism where we can discover people who are really great talents. We don't have that actually. We don't have a system where we can nurture Gotipur dancers as great classical dancers. Some institutions are doing their job. Privately, individually, institutions are doing that. But is that enough? We need more and more institutions. We need more and more sponsorship. We need more and more resources. And who is going to do all this? So, when there is no institution, when there is no patronage, there is no star. Again, the last parameter that I want to, how a star is born? When he is in limelight. And limelight came through media. Earlier there was profile, there was previews, interviews, reviews. So every Sunday we used to see our dancers in the pages of national dailies, be it Times of India, Hindustan Times, Indian Express, The Hindu. That page is completely vanished. The genre of art writers are completely dead. Very few people like Leela Venkatraman, Sunil Kothari is no more, Leela ji is still writing, but her space is shrinking. So we don't have review spaces, we don't have art spaces. So media is completely silent on Indian classical dance. Hardly you will get coverage in any national daily. Hardly you will get any coverage in television channels. Television channels are no more interested what a classical dancer is doing. Earlier people were there who came up with new stories. They talk about the new choreographies. I remember the vibrant articles on Chandralekha's choreography, Kumudini Lakhia's choreography. But now that is completely gone. No one is there to write a good review or a good profile or to come out with a good interview of any dancer. So that space is not there. So what is happening now? You have to be a young dancer up to the age of 35 because you are intending to get institutional recognition as Bismillah Khan Yuva Pratibha Award. Sanjukta Panigrahi got her Padma Shri at the age of 34, but today you are only eligible to get a Yuva Pratibha Puraskar at the age of 35. Then 35 to 60, if you are lucky, you may get a Sangeet Natak Academy Award. Then only after 60, if you are lucky, if you have good connection, if you are promoted by some powerful people, then only you can aspire to get a Padma Award. And if you are not a Padma Shri, if you are not a SNI Awardee, if you are not a A-grade artist in Doordarshan, you are not going to be a star dancer. So no young dancer of our time is going to be a star. That's really very sad. That's really very sad. And the best of our dancers are yet to get Padma Awards. Be it Sujata Mahapatra, be it Rama Vaidyanathan. None of them is a Padma Awardee. I remember Dr. Minati Mishra, late Minati Mishra, she received her Padma Shri when she was 75. After doing so much, as a dancer, as a choreographer, as an institution maker, she was the founding principal of Odisha Utkal Sangeet Mahavidyalaya. She was a great film actor. She had national awards in her pocket. But still she did not get her Padma Shri. She got her Padma Shri when she was 75. So the whole system has collapsed. So friends, let's rethink, let's redo this whole process. I want to see young artists to be our stars, because they can come up with best of their creative energy when they are in their youth. I don't underestimate or I don't disrespect seniors. They are great. You know, with maturity, with wisdom, your dance becomes more refined. And I have seen many great dancers at their very ripe age. I can never forget Bhajanti Malaji's performance in Bhubaneswar 3-4 years back. That was divine, that was extraordinary. But stardom is associated with youth. Let there be many young stars. I want to see my young dancers to be Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. Okay, that's a gradual process. But at least they should get their due recognition when they are in a position to enjoy their fame. And we should not believe in that old proverb that fame is the fruit that dead man eats. Thank you very much. Today, this much of the stage. See you next time with another issue, with another something. See you. Bye bye. Take care.